Hey folks, welcome back. A new stream finally on this channel. For some reason, after 1 year, I'm finally starting to stream again. And it's just a test stream, so don't get too excited, right? It's just a test stream. And all I'm trying to do is to see if my setup actually works, if my microphone is working, or Bitwig is still working, because I haven't made music in, I don't know, how much, how long. This is what I'm trying to do. Also to see if actually the chat works in my main view, which is this view here. So I'm just trying to get an idea what's gonna happen tomorrow. So it's only 1 day left until we get the beta version of Bitwig 6, the most anticipated Bitwig release ever in the history of digital audio workstations, probably. Oh, I see already people in the chat there. Russian folks, I can't read the name, sorry. Yo, Alexander is there. Hello, howdy, J. Cree. Hello. So it's obviously working. Also, I see the chat is working on my video overlay because I want to have the chat inside of the video. I think it's kind of nice to have that. I know that on YouTube you have like the live chat all the time on the right side. When the VOD goes active or when the VOD goes live. But I think it's still great to have the chat inside of the video. It's just a different connection. So here this kind of works. Hello. The menu, I think it's still great. I haven't changed anything. There's my old logo down there. Yeah, it looks kind of nice. What you can see in the background is it's still Bitwig 5, okay? It's still Bitwig 5. Nothing is shown until tomorrow, until they drop the embargo or however this is called. So I don't know when they release tomorrow. Probably within the office hours or something like that. Maybe it's delayed. I have no idea, okay? So looks like the stream is working. Valerie Verbinski, release some what's new, goddammit. Tomorrow, it's tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, we have to wait. Oh, it's actually, I see, it's disabling or resetting the chat when I switch your scenes. This is not good. Yeah, delete the cache, yeah, okay. I hope this is working now. So yes, we have to wait just 1 day, and then they will probably do a big announcement, also a big website with all the new features and so on. They already have an URL live. It looks like this: bitwig.com/what's new, and on the website here is any minute now. Actually, it's coming soon, but the website is already live, so it's dropping at some point tomorrow. Hey, Inverted Popes! Hey everyone, yes, welcome. This is under Berlin's time zone, right? Yeah. So my guess is they release in the office hours tomorrow. Maybe, very rarely they maybe delay it, but it could be, I don't know, but I guess it's tomorrow at some point. They should release it at midnight their time. Well, that's a problem when you have bugs, right? You need maybe some developers in the office to correct some stuff or to react to something. So it's probably better to have it, yeah, over the day. I haven't made actually music live for quite some time. Yeah, also midnight release, I mean, you have a lot of folks in Germany that they probably want to try it out or they want to use it, so at midnight is not the best time. Is Bitwig still like 2 devs? No, it's way more. maybe 20, 25 or something. I don't know the exact number. Will you start streaming at the moment it is released, or will you give it a try first if you did not give it a try already? I will start as soon as the download is available. I downloaded the current version, install it, and then just switch the stream on, and I show you everything. So hopefully I'm the fastest and the fastest guy alive on stream. Midnight for us in the US is like 6 PM. Yeah, that's okay. Excited for tomorrow? Yeah, probably everyone. Everyone is waiting for Bitwig 6. I hope everyone is really hyped about all the new features coming. I'm surprised they didn't hire you. Well, I'm actually not a developer. I'm just a guy, you know, talking out of my ass, basically. So why should they hire me, right? So a lot of people like what I say on my YouTube videos, but I'm far from a professional or anything. I just, like everyone else, trying to make sense out of everything. Feels like Christmas. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. That's this kind of hype before, you know, there are a lot of nice gifts coming your way. When update tomorrow. So 12 hours. Update should be during business hours in Berlin's time zone. Yes, exactly. Maybe I should put my second camera so you can see what I do on the on my keyboard. I have a second camera. I have this one here. You can see this, but you can't see my keyboard. Okay, switching scenes also works without clearing the chat. Nice. Sorry, I didn't see. Did you review the sound card? Yes, I did. I did a video on that. It's actually pretty great. The only downside I had was the missing inputs. It's just 2 or 4 inputs. Wigmass, yes, exactly. Yeah, I know the stream is important for some guys because they are on work, so they can't try it out, right? Or some different time zones, so they can try it out at the moment when it releases. So it's pretty dope to have a stream, the live stream, to just show everything and answer some questions here and there. So I guess it will be huge hype tomorrow. Hoping that Bitwig 6 doesn't break any driven by Moss scripts. I'm pretty sure they will test this because it's very important for them to have all the controllers also working in Bitwig. Maybe there are some bugs here and there, but I guess they all will work. They're also constantly updating the API, so it's probably... I'm pretty confident that it all works out. Do you know roughly what time you will stream tomorrow? No, I don't know actually. It depends. It depends when they release. As soon as I see the announcement or they have the download available, I will download the current version and then I will go live. If the piano roll is good, I'm opening my wallet. What do you want to see in the piano roll? Let me know. Yeah, let's drop all the feature requests. Let me know what you want to see tomorrow. This could be interesting. I know all of you like to drop your feature requests. Let me know. We'll be watching you. Nice. Thanks, Bitmap. Just seen a video on YouTube where he created a semi-random multi-sample. Bitwig never gonna stop. Amaze me. Yeah, the biggest thing about Bitwig for me is actually always the modularity, that you can do everything and you always find some kind of way to make something happen, even though it's not intended. And you always find a way, a workaround. Will you make sick drum bass? Maybe. Maybe. Some nice bass lines. To be honest, I'm a bit nervous actually. Oh, what chat feature is disabled? No. Can't be. Let me see here. Excellent connection. I want to see it tested on Linux, okay? I have a Linux computer here on. I also have Mint installed on this PC as a dual boot. But I need to make some plugins running first so I can have some options there. Make myself a bit more confident with Linux. But then there will be a video on about Bitwig and Linux on how to make everything work out. But it's planned, okay? Okay, my chat is here disabled in OBS for some reason. Good to know. So it's probably better to have here the dashboard of YouTube open tomorrow. Okay, let's see here what people say. How do you think the Bitwig will be improved, and what are your personal expectations? Will it just be transition or a massive update? I can't talk about it, to be honest. We will see it tomorrow. I'm hoping for adaptive triplet grid automation workflow that is a lot less restrictive and faster ability to point to multiple file paths for smart collections. Okay, that's pretty focused, specific, pretty specific. Smooth vertical zooming with modifier plus mouse wheel on the Ranger. Good, nice. So quality of life stuff. Alex wants to see key step sequencing like Ableton. That would be so cool. Sometimes you can't play a passage on a MIDI controller, but now the melody just want to step through the grid and insert notes. Nice one. Also automation blocks like Reaper where you can copy paste them over clips independently. Nice. Honestly, most things work on Linux. You mean plugins, right? Yeah, I tried some plugins. I had some initial problems to get my head around how Jawbridge works on Linux, how Linux works, and how to interact with Wine and stuff like this. But when I got the hang of it, it was pretty easy, yeah. I'm using it on Manjaro, works pretty well, nice. Using Arc for Linux, is it Arch or is it Arc? It's Arch, right? Arch for Linux works pretty well without many issues at all. I tried to maybe go to Arch, but then I saw it's actually you have to be very specific what you want to install, so it's very customizable. And I was a bit shy about that. Maybe I try Mint first, having a regular installer and so on. Then maybe when I'm more confident in Linux and I know exactly what I want, then I probably go to Arch or whatever then is the current trendy thing. Hey Sternherz! We want Bitwig to generate all my music so I can get rid of my inspiration, okay? So AI stuff. What I really hope we get is step MIDI input that's a little more like live. I find that really easy to use. Okay. So I guess most people just want features they know from other DAWs, right? That's probably what they want. For me personally, I just want to have actually more modularity, that you can pick certain instruments apart, or maybe some FFT processing inside of the grid, or extending the grid, or what I really want to see, and I know it's a big thing for me, is like an interface, that you create interfaces inside here of the chain, of the device chain, right? We have here this polymer, and you have here devices or modules from inside of the grid. It would be nice that we could actually design our own devices, first level chain devices, and they all basically have something underlying which is then realized inside of the grid. Something like this could be nice, could be Gaia, yes, of course, and maybe something to create some interfaces, or here some GUI elements, background images or something like this. Something like this. Pure data grid block. Yeah, actually something like a code block could be nice. So we have in the grid a small little block, and you can type in some script, Lua scripting, or whatever they want to use, JavaScript or something easy. So you can make processes happen with codes, with coding. I know it's a pretty nerdy question, and not everyone wants it, but my answer to that is always yes, it's not interesting for everyone, but there are a lot of people in the community that are have pretty knowledge of all of this DSP stuff, and they can realize instruments, and they can give you basically presets, and then we all benefit from that. Audio retrospective looper with quantize in, yes. For ambient could be nice. I always use this one here, this Paul X stretch. I just record stuff into that, and then I just leave it on. Can I actually delete this here? Settings? Probably not. Let me just remove this. So this is here something, or this Paul X stretch is actually how I want to use the sampler in Bitwig. I just want to hit the record button here and then play something in. And then you just let it play, more or less. What about the pick from the announcement? Looks like arranger stuff. Yeah, I mean, they already teased a lot of things with this image. You can see a lot of crazy things in the image, and yeah. Looks like a lot of things in the Ranger, of course. Hope that's not all. Yeah, what do you want? What do you expect? I mean, they focus, or they said in the last update 5.3 or like that, they said they want to focus on the arranger, and it's always, they always focus on something with each update, right? They have a focus on something, and there's a lot of people are hyped about this, and then there's a part of the community always saying, nothing in there for me, right? I want to have something completely different, but that's how it is, right? But I would say in the last updates, they try to basically go into each direction to a certain or to certain sections inside Bitwig and update stuff there. Grid update, yeah. Off-topic question: do Windows VSTs work for you guys in Linux using Yardbridge? I tried it with Valhalla Reverb because I use it a lot. So this one was working here, and I also tried it with the Pro-Q4. This one here. It also worked in Linux kinda nice. I had problems with the latest Wine version in Linux. Something here with the events was off, but I just downgraded the Wine version and it worked perfectly. When will the stream start tomorrow? So as soon as they announce Bitwig 6, and as soon as I can download the beta version, I will try to download the beta version, install it, and then start the stream. So I can't give you a time. I don't know when exactly. To which version exactly? I don't know. I tried to Google it for this exact problem, and they said I don't know which version. I have to look it up. 9.21, yeah, something like this. Everyone hold off on downloading tomorrow so we can make sure Polarity gets it without lag. Nice. Okay. I say when I'm done, and then you can all start. By the way, here, Modart, the creators or the company of PianoTeq, they gave me a full license out of nowhere. They just wrote an email to me and said, "Here is the license." And I said, "Okay, thanks." How great! I use it anyway. I would use it anyway. Hey, Starmaze! Now I get why certain streamers have this big kind of screen on the left side where they have only the chat. There's so much to read sometimes, and I have not that many viewers. Sometimes people have 30k viewers. And they probably stopped reading the chat. But for me, it's kind of nice to have the chat. Improved I/O routing would be nice. Audio receiver is good, but it can get a bit complicated and weird. Hey, Gero! What if this update is so massive, our community explodes, and this is the last time we have a peaceful polarity stream? Oh, you mean that a lot of people come in, moving over from Ableton Live and Cubase, and then, yeah, this is always. I see this sometimes in gaming communities when a game, you know, is taking off, and a lot of people coming in, and then a lot of casual players, and so play the game, and a lot of dedicated players are actually moving away because they can't play the game in their preferred way. 30k viewers incoming? No, never. Not for a music stream. I think you can't. I don't know. You have to be very, very, very entertaining to make a music stream with 30k viewers. And I'm way too nerdy, and I'm way too German, and my English is not that, you know. I can speak, but it's not like then I can pull off a comedy show or something like this. I think it's pretty good to interact with the chat, because people want to see, you know, you want to have interaction. For me, it's also interesting to see what the community is up to, what they're thinking. I also see a lot of familiar faces I know from my YouTube comments, and I really like to be in the small little niche and small little spot, instead of having, you know, a lot of thousands of views and I don't know anyone in the comments. And I also see sometimes when I have videos, I put videos out and they are going out of my usual viewer range, or yeah, then I basically get very weird comments. I really can see that, and I really like to be in a certain type of spot, and we will see. Is PianoTeq worth the money? Is it not cheap? It is not cheap, and I think about to buy it. I think there's a very small version where you can start and then you can upgrade later, exactly like how it is with Bitwig. For me, it's actually worth it because I don't have that many samples on the hard drive, and I am not this kind of piano aficionado, right? So I'm kind of okay with the sound. It doesn't sound like a real piano with the right room and all the texture on top and so on. But at the same time, if you download these contact pianos, it's a lot of space on the hard drive. For me, it's perfectly nice. I like it. And you can also tweak it a lot, right? There are some settings in there. I haven't explored this actually. I think you can edit here each note. So you have like micro pitch stuff in there. Can I resize this here? Yeah, I can make it old. So you can tweak a lot of things in here. What devices would you like to see improved other than the sampler? Yeah, the sampler would be nice, and yeah, the grid. It's actually only in the grid for me. Everything that you have in Bitwig right now, it looks like to me just an and simpler interface to what we can do in the grid already. So I could probably easily reduce everything just to the grid for me and just work only with the grid. So yeah, the grid would be nice to have an update to that. A bigger update, not just a module. Do it like Aria at home. You mean walking through Berlin with a big speaker pack and then playing with random people? Oh, you need a lot of confidence for that, I guess. Also with ambient could be a bit boring to, you know, walk around Berlin and then just doing ambient stuff. Or drum bass could be nice, yeah. I'm way too introvert for that. You provide a lot of value for the Bitwig community. Yeah, thanks, man. What's your favorite chord software? Oh, I don't use any of that, to be honest. I really like just having, just using the basic tools of Bitwig here, a multi-node, and then maybe a diatonic transposer or key filter. That's how it's called. And then you just put the filter or the chords into this key filter, and it corrects it to the right thing. So for me, this is pretty dope to actually create something on the spot out of nowhere, and then you just record it into a note clip, and then you can make some adjustments to the notes. And this is probably the best and the easiest way. So something like scalar is way too complicated for me. It feels like I make stuff that's not that complicated more complicated in a different way, and then you have to select different things, and it's more like you randomly select different chords. It makes no sense to me to work like that. So most chord software is actually not for me, and this is all I need, more or less. Go to Berghain. They don't let me in. I'm too old. I'm too old and not dressed enough. Are you going to Superbooth next year? Yes, I'm going. This year I was actually there 2 days. For 2 days. It was pretty dope. And I was... it was pretty exhausting to talk to everyone. It's fun, interesting, exciting, but it's also very exhausting. And you feel it in the evening. Have you tried Cthulhu? Yes. Really cool device. Do you have it installed? Yes. So yeah, you can do here something like this, right? So you have a chord with 5 notes, and you can say I want to have here the lowest note, and then the third lowest note, or the second lowest note, and so on. And then you can make out of this chord a nice sequence, which is really nice. And I wished we had this in Bitwig, and I also made a feature request 20 years ago about this, but no one wants to hear me. Okay. It's the only plugin that does this. Maybe this other plugin, what's the name? Blue or anything? Blue? Something with blue. I think it's even an open source software that does something like this here. So in Bitwig we have only here right up and down or down up, stuff like this. But here you can just select the incoming notes based on their position. Blue SRP, yes, this was the name. I got that new Blees ARP thing for free. I'm pretty... I need to try out all the new Blees plugins. Maybe I do a video on these but I can't keep up with all the updates, to be honest. Stuff that comes out at the moment. My focus is on Bitwig 6, of course. That's the biggest release, and I will be busy to make videos about all the new stuff. So, but I want to make a video on Blees for sure, because I know it's in the circle, Bitwig circle thing. I always want to say blessed, but it's bliss. It's yeah. Eon ARP. Yeah, I know this one too. But I stuck with this one here for some reason. I really like to have this one here. Is Cthulhu actually free? I can't remember. It costs money, right? It's a small fee. The node in channel select is really broken at the moment. What do you mean? In the grid? I stopped using any VSTs or plugins in 2010. That's nice. Nice to hear. So you are basically only Eurorack and modular based VST. I mean, there's so much modular stuff out there. If you have Bitwig, just Bitwig alone with the grid, you can do basically everything. The only downside is maybe the interface, that you have specialized interface for certain type of workflows that are better in VSTs, but you can get, I would say, 80% of the way you can get there with the grid. So also, if you just install what's the name, the Eurorack software here, VCV Rack, you have so much. There's so much variety and options you have nowadays to create music, and some of this stuff is for free. It's impossible, and I think that's probably part of the problem of many people, because you have so many options. They don't know what to do, what to choose, and what's actually right for them. You have to try out everything, and then you settle with something. But then you're actually never sure. Maybe I'm missing something if I don't use Logic, right? And then they buy Logic, and then they use Logic and say, oh, it's actually like that in Ableton. Then they go back to Ableton because they like certain stuff in Ableton. And then they switch over to Bitwig, and everything is modular and fine and happy. And so they switch all the time between all the different software things, and then they never actually really settle with something, or they never actually learn something to the full extent. But it's very difficult. Back in the day, you had not many options. Cardinal is also clap in. Yeah, it's basically VCV Rack combined with opinionated bunch of modules, right? Something like that, and then it's open sourced. Yeah, there's something wrong in the grid with the channel selector or something. Was the guess net on? Nice name, by the way. There's something. I know that. Maybe I should write more bug requests, but I'm busy all the day. Usually when something happens to me in Bitwig, I say, oh shit, and I restart it, and then I just continue working. I've been collecting VSTs and samples since the early 2000s, and it's cool having so much, but sometimes overwhelming, and just try to use native Bitwig. Yeah, that's a good way of getting down to the bottom, right? What's the thing, what I need to do to make actually something happen, instead of just putting on 20, 30 plugins and then something randomly comes out. I think last week or 2 days ago, or yesterday in the chat of Open Door, I said something like this. Today you just put 200 plugins in a chain, right? Just to be creative or to have some random outcome. And then you have a random sound effect, a random sound coming out of that. But you have 200 plugins and you don't know what happens basically in the process chain all the time. But you could theoretically just analyze the input signal and the output signal and then just compare these two and say, oh, actually the dynamics changed here, and maybe this is a saturation or transfer curve looks like this, and the EQ curve or the spectrum looks like this on the input and the output, and then just make a match thing, right? So to match the input and the output with the dynamics and with the spectrum. And then you can just put everything in the middle, all these 20 plugins you just put in away, and you still have the same output because you just analyzed what's different. And I don't know why something like this is not existing on the market, because you could just you know, optimize your chains to 0 CPU time. Okay, let's see. Looks like the stream is running great. Yes, maybe I should... Actually, when I put here my face on the screen, you can't see the chat. Okay. I really wish there was some kind of software. I also thought about developing something like this, where you have an input and output system. So let's say you have a sample. But that's actually what I want to have as a VST plugin. You have a sample, and you put the sample in, and that's a sound that you really like, but you want to replicate it as a synth, as a synthesizer patch, right? So why not is there an AI that analyzes the sample and just matches randomly, learns how the VST or how the synthesizer works, and then changes all the settings so you have roughly what the sample sounds like. So we have something like this with, what's the name? Synplant? Is a Synplant? Synplant, yeah, Synplant. So you can drag a sample in here, and in the background it's just a kind of a simple three oscillator synthesizer, FM synthesizer, and then they figure out what to do with these FM or with these oscillators so it sounds exactly like the sample. This would be nice to have for Bitwig, for instance Polymer, right? And it's okay if it's not 100% or 1000% exactly the same sound. It's okay when it goes in just into the right direction. This would be nice to have. Isn't Kick 3 supposed to have such feature? Kind of. They analyze just the pitch drop more or less. They use the sample, they make the cut in the middle, so they separate basically the bottom of the kick and the top of the kick. The top is basically a sample, and the low end is a pitch drop then realized with a sine oscillator. So kind of. But it doesn't work for complex sounds or synth sounds or strings or, you know, real life sounds. Do you know why Bitwig opens beta only for those with live subscription and not for the ones with the license? This demotivates people who are Bitwig users for a long time and want to try new features. Let me know. I don't know if is it not actually possible to use it in demo mode? The beta? I'm not sure. I haven't tried this out, so I don't know. So yeah, I can't say. I don't know what the reasons behind this is. It's just how it is. Backbone by Steinberg has a weird generator free synthesis thing. Not sure if similar. Backbone, yeah, it's kind of an AI thing, diffusion model, I guess. But I found like that most of these drums or these AI drum generators are sounding kind of not good because the quality is so low or the resolution is so low. It always sounds like a 64 kilobit MP3 to me. And it could be nice to have to use it actually as a layer on top of something else, but I never was quite happy with the AI generators, to be honest. I tried out a few. Is he hinting that we get Simplan 2 in the upgrade? No. No. That's just these are just my weird ideas, okay? I have my own feature requests no one wants to listen to. It's probably also not smart from a company or standpoint to make things that could kill a lot of options for you in the future to release stuff, right? So I'm always trying to get rid of stuff. I want to have stuff very easy and straightforward, but it's maybe not a good plan in the current capitalistic system that we have, where you need to make money all the time from nothing. Dennis Schinkowitsch, danke, kommt an. Fühlt sich gut an. Hab's gelesen. Doesn't FL Studio have some kind of resynthesis thing? Yeah, I think it's called Harmor or something like this. It's spectral-based, I think. Spectral-based additive synth or something like this. The thing is, you can replicate the sound with additive synthesis pretty easily. But when you think about it, if you have a synthesizer with additive synthesizer, you have to also save a lot of data. And when you have to save a lot of data, you can just save the WAV file. And you have a 100% replication, basically, which is the WAV file itself. What you want to have is actually a simpler synthesizer, something like an FM synthesizer, and then come up with methods of interacting different oscillators, maybe 3 oscillators, to create a similar sound. And it's very hard to create with FM synthesis certain sounds, but you can maybe do it with AI. They can figure this out. 1 trillion iterations of different settings and combinations of stuff, and AI can figure this out. It's basically machine learning, or it is machine learning. What means the paperclip in the beta announcement pic? I can't tell you. Tell us your feature requests. Yeah, I kind of said it already, the grid. Some grid modules, or extending the grid, making an interface designer for that, so I can make devices inside of the grid, which I really like, and I really love the grid for that. But I want to make it more simpler for other people, right? So they can open up a device that looks like Polymer here, and they can interact with just the important devices or the important things I want to show them to you. So interface designer would be great. Or something like I just said here with the replication, that you can drag in a sample and you have a synthesizer that figures out via machine learning how to set all the parameters, all the oscillators, to create some kind of similar sound. Off-topic suggestion, can you try Sepralet? Would be curious about your thoughts about it. Yeah, I tried to use Sepralet, but it's way too... It's a good synthesizer. It's not a bad synthesizer, but for me it's way too theoretically. It's not fun to use for me in a certain way. But it's a very powerful synthesizer, and it sounds very good. But I have to try it. But I think when I tried the beta back then, I found that there was a missed opportunity in re-synthesizing sounds to figure out what's going on inside of the sound when you have a piano, right? Something happens with different velocity settings, something happens when you change the key. So I wanted to have more like tools for getting out formants and or static frequencies and some analysis stuff where you can analyze, oh, this actually happens when you change the velocity and then you recreate piano sounds and so on. I think there is some missed stuff opportunities that people leave out all the time when they make software or synthesizers. Because usually you just want to recreate a lot of things and then you want to change it. Usually when people ask me, they say, oh, I want to recreate this sound. I heard it in that song. I want to have exactly this sound, right? And then you want to tweak it and make it your own or something like this. That's usually what people want. Also, when you create a sound from scratch, you have something in mind, right? Something that you want to do. And then you try to recreate it and then you have a different outcome and then you say, okay, I'm fine with it. I'm not leaking. It's okay, funny when Polarity says something separate, it feels too complex to him. Yeah, it's not like that I don't get it how it works. It's more like when I make music, I just want to make music in a way, right? The grid, I get it. Also, when I make music, then I don't usually dive into the grid and make a big grid patch only when I make generative music, but I just want to use the sound. I want to have this bass sound, right? And I want to have it as quickly as possible. No video module, please, not again. Video module? What do you mean? You know, what would be amazing is a way to temporarily rearrange the device panel and make it full screen. This one here, right? The device chain. Yeah, I thought about this too. Exactly when the grid came out, I thought, maybe you can get rid of the chain altogether and just make it a grid, right? So when you open this up, instead of having here, I don't know, let's do here a new one, instrument track, right? It's empty, and then you see the grid in here. And then you can just connect certain devices in here. I have to have a generative patch here that you can play. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, I had a headache this day. So instead of having this here, you have it. You have this down here. Can I hide this? Yeah. So something like this, right? And then you can just drag in some VSTs and you have a VST interface here. Could be dope too. Maybe too complex, I don't know. But this is the idea I had when they released the grid back then. Do you have a lot of mosquitoes? It's insane here, but no, not at all. Not here in my place. Some drum bass. I have some drum bass here. Usually when I do drum bass on the stream, people switch away. The thing is with different styles, and the reason why I do a lot of ambient or kind of ambient stuff, it's melodic. You can have it in the background, right? It's easy to listen to. And it's great stream content, and I also enjoy doing it. It's not hard for me. But with drum bass, the problem is it's so heavily sound based or sound design based, also with dubstep and so on, You have to fiddle around on the snare drum for an hour until I'm happy. I have to fiddle around on the kick drum. The kick drum has to match the bass sound, and I have to match the bass and fiddle around on the bass sound and so on. And it's usually not that pleasant to watch, in my opinion. And I also have to be very focused on stuff. Wait a minute, I do hear the volume. I go down at the volume a bit. It's a lot of automation here. By the way, most of this automation here is just recorded. It's not drawn in. You can see this here. I just do this thing. I did a video on that. I just hit here record. I have this on my keyboard. You can see here. It's very fast for me. I just activate this, draw in some knobs, and then go out of the automation. And it's so easy, so fun to do, to automate stuff this way instead of drawing something in. Why not close this down? Damn. Oh, this is loud. Can you hear this? How long does it take you to finish a track? Usually not long, but at the moment I'm in a weird spot. I'm in a weird spot. I can't finish, or I don't want to finish actually stuff when I'm not happy with how it is. And I'm always finding something that I'm not happy with for some reason. So I just don't finish it in a way. So this track here, I could say that's it, right? I make it, how long is it? Actually 5 minutes, 4 minutes? No, only 3 minutes. So I just double this, right? And then I make some tweaks here and there, some fade-ins, and I'm calling it a day. But I'm personally not really happy with it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm too headed at the moment, so it takes a long time at the moment. I'm in a weird spot. I'm also currently bouncing a lot of stuff. I didn't do this before. I had all of the sounds live. The only live thing here is the main bass. This one here. Which is just a phase 4 as always. A lot of stuff here on the top end. You can see here, this is just done via recording. I just record the movement, basically what I do in the EQ, and just leave it at that. And then at some point I thought, actually the movement I don't like, and then I put a low pass on it. Yeah, here. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm fiddling a lot of time goes into fiddling around with this stuff. I also try to figure out stuff if I want to use AI in my music, right? I'm not a big fan of prompt generating music with prompts. You type it in and then you get something out of it. That's not a cool way of making music, in my opinion. And I think this is the biggest part what people don't like of AI, that you type in a prompt and you get something out of it. But I think there's still a cool way of combining different things. Let me use this one here. Combining AI. It's like you have a partner, right? You create something and then you send something to the AI, and the AI adds something to it, and then you say, oh, well, this is actually a great direction. Let's go into this direction, or maybe twist it in a certain way. So this could be something. So here I have some top layers made by AI, and basically all the rest is so it plays basically a piano on top. right? And I have the drums and I have the bass. And yeah, you can get around certain limitations because AI stuff usually sounds very low resolution type of thing, right? It's not really, it sounds really not really good. But when you put a lot of reverb on it and some phasers and edit the stuff out, you can get something out of it. And I'm just experimenting with this if I want to do actually something like this, because I usually don't even use presets, right? I do everything from scratch all the time. And I'm questioning myself basically there. This is actually something I want to do. When I use presets, usually with pad sounds, bass sounds, drum sounds, and so on, at the end, it doesn't feel like it's mine. I'm okay with other people doing it, right? And it's not like I'm blaming other people. It's completely fine to do this. But for me, for myself, when I listen then to this music later on, can I feel like still this is something I did? Is this something I did, or is this something from someone else, right? So this is what I try to figure out. So I try to question myself actually to make everything from scratch all the time, but it's fun both ways. 90% of the presets are unusable. Yeah, I guess it's, for some people it's a great way to get started, to have something going. It also depends on the music, I would say. So let's say you make drum bass or dubstep. Dubstep is it's heavily based on sound design. So the sound design is everything. If you take sound design away from drum bass and dubstep, you are left with some very, very boring music. Just one note, maybe a second note, maybe, you know, a break here, a break there. But 80% of the music of drum bass or dubstep is actually sound design. So when you use a preset there for a sound, it has a big impact, right? But if you do pop music, or if you do, I don't know, something else, where the music or the notes is actually more important, then yeah, it's maybe not that bad. But I would say most presets that you can hear in these big synths that you can buy, these presets are just made to show off what the plugin can do. It's not made for you to use it in a track. I think what's the name? What's the synth name with these a lot of presets a lot of people use? Sphere, Sonosphere, Spectrosphere, something like this. You know what I mean. They have like Omnisphere, exactly. They have, I don't know, 20,000 presets in there, and they're all tweaked like so you can use it in your track. They are ready for production. And also when you use something like Triton, most of these sounds are actually not, they don't push themselves into the foreground. They are more like bread and butter presets, but you can use them, just use them, and you can make a track out of nowhere. So it heavily depends on the plugin or on the VST. So some VST vendors are just using presets to show off, right? They show, oh, this is something you can do with the plugin, but it's not made for production or for music production actually. Omniverse is a multiverse of Omnisphere synths, yeah. I'm going to bed early tonight because of the release tomorrow. Anyway, have a good night. Instead, you need your track to match the preset, yeah, for the preset sometime. Yeah, it's hit or miss with the presets. You need to have some really good sound design guys if you want to make good presets. Maybe a bunch of presets for showing off, for the demos, right? Where people say in the YouTube, when they see the YouTube demo, wow, this is a great sound, right? And some sounds that are more tamed down, more subtle for daily work, for daily production. So sometimes you have plugins like VSTs, and you open this up and you just want to have a straight normal bass sound that works, right? And you can't find this preset. Everything is like over the top and too much. I've been there multiple times, yeah. I remember when everyone was using Silent, it made me like allergic to its sound, like I tried it and it felt like it was just someone else's stuff when I played it. Yeah, it's also with certain music styles, right? When you have like psytrance, so every psytrance song for me sounds like exactly the same. If you have the right sounds, you sound exactly like that. And probably everyone wants to sound like everyone else. It's just part of the game, also with styles. So sometimes these genres die out because everyone sounds the same, right? And then someone tries to do something completely new and breaks up the whole genre, and then people say, this is not drum and bass, or this is not psytrance, this is something else. And then a new subgenre is born. Oh, thanks for the thanks for the following. I actually don't see this here. I have no alerts. So yeah, it's like this whole internet thing, right? Where you have something new and people say, this is not that. And then you do exactly like that. And then people say, oh, it sounds like everything else. And the best thing you can do is actually don't listen to feedback at all. Also beginners, just make music and have fun, right? Let's also see this here when YouTube streamers do feedback rounds or feedback streams. I'm not sure about this. I get it from a creator standpoint. You get a lot of viewers and interaction, but at the same time, some beginners don't need to hear feedback. Just good job. Just continue making it. Have fun. You're on the right path, and that's all you need to hear sometimes, right? And also from the music producer standpoint, I get it. You want to have people listen to your music. You want to have people reacting to it, right? And you want to hear, of course, that you are the best producer in the world. I get it. Do I have something else what I can listen to? I made a track here with the guy. He wrote me on Discord and said, I'm a bass player. I said, that's nice. And then he sent me, I don't know, 500 or 1000 tracks he made and never released. And they all sounded really nice. And I thought, just send me over some bass guitar riffs. And then I tried to make a drum bass tune out of it, right? And this is here. This is the thing. There are a lot of tracks in here. I didn't know in the beginning where to go with this, and I just tried multiple things, exchanged everything. Yeah, Bitmap, you're the best. You heard it here first. You're the best, man. Also, 3rd place. And I just try to let the bass here in, so it's not doubled with a synth bass. It's just a pure bass sound from the guitar, right? I think I stretched it a bit. Yeah, I aligned it here, because when you have these straight drums on top, it you know, it didn't match really. But I tried to keep it as pure as possible without layering something below it. And then I just made it loud as fuck. So my idea was basically, I just play my synth bass and then I switch to the funk bass, right? So I mix in this, instead of layering on top, I just made a time separation there. And I think it works the best. That's me. Catching a breath. Little switch there. Also here, Oral B heard this track. I basically sent him this switch here without the guitar. Just this one here. Is this? No, this one. Yeah, then I muted. And he played basically something on top just to match this bass line here, which is pretty great to have. If you like, if you have a studio musician at your place, that's so great. You just say, hey, play me a part, play a piano part, play this maybe bass line. Oh, you're a string player, play me some parts over this, right? And you have this track finished in no time. But if you're just alone, like me, you have to, I have to download some stupid sample library, right? And then I figure out how to actually make it sound real. But if you have the money, if you have the studio, if you have the studio musicians, you have a song finished in no time, probably. It's so compressed. Oh, 5.5. Okay. Look at this. And yeah, by the way, for the ducking here, I'm just using the spectral compressor, almost in audio rate mode here. 0 ms attack, 5 ms release time. And someone mentioned it in the chat here, the new kilohertz plugin. I tried it out, but for me it's actually, I can do this in Bitwig without using a plugin at all. I think I showed it back when all these people tried to do this kind of, what's the name, ring sidechain modulation, the new trendy thing everyone needs to do because it's the only way of sidechaining, of course, because it's precise. What's what's the name? Compactor. Is it compactor? Yeah. This one here. And then, so here with this, I need to have the kick drum, but I have no kick drum. I have basically here a drum loop with the kick and the snare. So it's already a problem. I have to separate basically the kick drum now here, if I don't want to use the snare drum in the ducking process. But here with the spectral compressor, or with this one, I can match and choose, right? I can... The kick basically ducks the bass, and the snare, or the snare clap on top, ducks here the top end a bit. And it's perfect. With the compactor, it's basically a full range ducker. You duck always the full spectrum all the time, which is not what I want all the time. Sometimes I want that. And if I want to have this, I can just use a tool device here and use an audio rate modulator and just get here in that drums, main drums, right? I get them basically here, the drums. Bring this down. Right, I have here then the kick drum, and then I say I want to rectify this thing. And if you watch the original Ring sidechain modulation creator guy, he used basically 3 plugins already for this rectifying stuff here. So we want to have the middle channel, we want to rectify the signal so everything is positive, and then you just pull down the volume with audio rate. And then you can smooth it out here with the low pass on the main drums input. So that's more or less the same thing as using the compactor. Maybe there is some DSP stuff in here that's, you know, I know people like to have high precision for some reason. It's always beginners. They want to have high precision, and they, you know, it's not the same. They make null tests, and this is not the same as using this, and so yeah. But for me, I'm just fine using here audio rate or using spectral compression. Yeah. So in Bitwig, it's very easy. Just use the audio rate modulator, use rectify, use the middle channel, pull down the volume, and you're done. And smoothing out here with the low pass. Done. Yeah. Hey, State! Good to see you live, man. You should start doing it more often again. Yeah, that's maybe true. But at some point, I felt like I do the same thing. It's probably okay to do the same thing over and over. Maybe I'm in a creative hole or something like this, but I'm slowly crawling out. Beep, 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 beep. What's wrong with using the audio sidechain? Nothing. It's completely fine. It's just some people are, you know, big producer X uses that and says it's the best way, and then everyone has to use it. It's just how things work on the internet. For me, it's perfectly fine, and I'm okay with it. You probably ask why I'm using this one here. I try to use everything at least once or multiple times and try to incorporate it into my production so I can talk about it and say this is actually a bad way of doing something or this is a good way of doing something. So gaining some experiences with different workflows here and there. It's kind of interesting. Hey, State, thanks, man. Big thanks. 50 pounds. This is probably 5 euros. No, thanks, man. Tomorrow is the day. I wanted to make a video also about this at some point, but I always forget about it, and then I think it's actually not worth it to talk about it. But usually, men, not women, I mean men. Usually, men always try to solve problems with a lot of power and technique, a lot of technical solutions, right? Instead of feeling something or trying to just tackle a problem in a different direction or something like this. So it's always yeah. So when there's a problem coming up, people just try, oh, I need to buy more gear, or I need a different synthesizer. That's the big problem my music has. I need more synthesizers, or I need a Eurorack. That's the problem. I'm sitting in front of a PC. Of course my music is bad. I need Eurorack or something. You know, this is sort of the thinking process, I guess, people have. But and it's the same for it's the same for me too. It's not like I'm special or anything like this. That's because we all have probably the same thoughts at some point in our lives. Hey Steve, thanks for tuning in. Ableton should be able to do the same thing. You can do today pretty much everything and everything. It's just a question of if you like it, how it looks like, or if you like the workflow, or. But the nuances are so small. I think at some point I talked about a gaming system in Bitwig. This would be nice. So you switch on the gaming system, and then everything is just taken away from you, all the devices. And then you have to make music just with a sampler and maybe one EQ. And then you have to make a test or make a, an AI is inside of Bitwig and says, oh, it's okay, you did a good job, you're on level 2. On level 2, you get a compressor, right? And then you have to make music only with the compressor, EQ, and the sampler. So you basically are limited in the beginning, and then you have to learn all the different things in a very specific order. And then, so you have more focused learning experience, and also a gaming system where I think there's this one game where you can learn Eurorack patching signal state or something like this on Steam. This, but reversed, basically a digital audio workstation or a music application, and there's a gaming system included instead of a game that can make music. Would be a good way to learn the grid. Yeah, exactly. Just a few modules, a few important ones to limit your options, and then you have a much easier learning experience overall. It just makes you focus on important things first, instead of, oh, what kind of mastering plugin do I need? Or what kind of compressor do I need? Do I need to buy this? Or this is actually currently on sale, I have to buy this because everyone uses it, so I have to too. Tutorial mode, yeah, that's a good name. I think Bitwig is in a very good place already for that, because it's the best digital audio workstation that you can get to learn actually from the ground up, because you have the grid and because there are so many thoughts going into what these devices do and how everything looks like. Also here with the help system, right? It shows you exactly. I mean, there could be more explanation here, but there are some missed or empty spaces where Bitwig could evolve more into, right? To explain people that's important. Start with this. I think this is what people sometimes missed from the manual. And I know the manual doesn't have to give you that. The manual is actually just, this is the device, here are the knobs, these knobs doing this and that. And if you patch this and that, you know. But what people really want to know is they want to open up the manual and then they want to know how to make a reverb, how to make a compressor, how to make this and that, right? Why do I have to this? So they need more like guidance, producer guidance, which is not the, it's not something the manual has to deliver, more or less. But this is what people want. And there is some space there where people could maybe go into, making it a good door for beginners to learn actually make music. Because it's really healthy to be creative. That's my opinion. What are the synths you use most? Oh, pretty basic. I use most of the times just Phase 4 and the Polymer synthesizer. You can see Phase 4 is in there a lot. That's basically FM synthesizer, and Polymer is a subtractive synthesizer, and they give me all I need to make sounds. That's what I use most. And the grid, of course, when I need some special patches. I just liked it if you could upload the manual directly into my brain. Yeah. But sometimes it's not bad if you don't know everything, because you make mistakes. And sometimes when you make mistakes, something great comes out of it. And then you have something new. And we all want to have some new music, right? We don't want to have the same music. We don't want to have pop music where everything sounds the same, or drum bass, everything sounds the same. That's not what we want, right? We want to have small little iterations that sounds maybe in a new direction, where you say, oh, this is actually interesting, but it's also kind of nice, and I never heard it this way. And I hope we get there because we have AI. Because AI gives you, for no time investment, just a bit of money, gives you the bare average sound. If you type in pop sound, you get the average pop sound. If you type in ambient, you get the average ambient sound. And because it's so fast, and the market is hopefully so fast saturated with this type of music, we have finally people are more interested into special, weird, experimental sounds. This would be great. The better you get, the more boring your music can become. Exactly, this is true. This is completely true. You don't know how good you make actually music if you have no idea what you do. Sometimes the most, maybe the technical side of things, you don't know how to master. Maybe it's too loud, the bass is too loud, or it's clipping, or it's too quiet. But you can hear sometimes also in my earlier productions where you can hear, oh, this is actually not a bad idea. I was completely free of concepts. I was completely free. I had no idea how scales work. I just did something that I liked. And it's something pure to that. And the longer you make music, the more you learn, the more this side is go missing, right? You are super straight, constrained in your type of thing that you did. And sometimes it's very interesting when you have like dubstep producers. They do only dubstep for 20 years, and then they, for some random reason, they try to make something different in a different style, and then you can hear, oh, this is actually okay, that sounds not like this at all, but it sounds interesting. Let's hope AI doesn't become the best at niche music as well. No, AI always needs a lot of music to be trained on. And then you always get kind of the average of that. So if you have outliers, bad verse outliers, you get always kind of the average from that, I would guess. So you have to make a lot of weird music until it becomes popular, and then the AI can analyze it and can make the average out of it. So you're always a step ahead if you do something that not sounds anything like Suno produces at all. Do I have something else I can show you here in the background? So this is something here. This is a track I have probably finished since 3 years, but I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. It sounds like, in Germany, I say always eingeschlafene Füße. It sounds like sleeping foot. So it's technically, I would say, it's kind of perfect, but it's completely boring for me, at least. For me, it's completely boring, okay? And this is something here I would delete. There's so much work going into that just to make something very, very boring. And I show it to you. So in the intro, it starts with a very boring, simple pad sound I don't like at all. It's like I needed something there that sounds different, right? And I put in this weird sequence and by the way, also interesting on the bass, there's some kind of noise on top. And I used Crisp. So Crisp is a plugin by Robert, who also made the spectral compressor, and he made this because I made a preset in Bitwig 1.0 or 2.0, and he said, this is actually a great idea, I make a plugin out of this, and now I'm using the plugin. Damn. Full circle. Maybe it's a bit too much. It's already 2%. So yeah, this is something that's completely boring, and this is basically my problem. I would say all the technical stuff is okay. I wouldn't change anything, but it just misses something. Maybe it's just me. It would be okay probably to play it out. It's just a polymer synth. You can see here, it's very basic, everything. Yeah, this is basically my biggest problem. I have probably a lot of tunes that are kind of finished, but it's okay. But you know, it doesn't drive me, it doesn't move me in a way. I have something else here. Yeah, I tried something like Lawn. I think this one is better. Guys, one day left, and we can finally talk about the new version of Bitwig. How great is that? We are waiting for it. Christmas is nearly here. Christmas Eve. If that's your worst, you should hear the garbage come up. Yeah, I mean, it's probably even worse if you listen to it to yourself, right? Because you know exactly every small little decision, and maybe it's just because I made it and I hear it myself. Maybe that's the sign the song is already finished and I'm over it. It's like cooking food. When you have finished, you're no longer hungry. Yeah, that's a good analogy, I would say. Yeah. It's probably also why I try, or why some producers also say that you need to finish the song or the draft very quickly, because you get so bored and so annoyed if you listen to it over and over and over, right? I have trouble with horizontal composition. I get stuck on the 8-bar loop. Okay, here's a small little tip that you can use. When you are finished with this 8-bar loop, just make another one. Okay? Just try to come up with another 8-bar loop after this 8-bar loop, and then you just combine these two. And when you are finished, you make another one. And then when you have 3, you can just copy them all over the place and just make small little adjustments. Filter on top, filter movements, EQ movements, a bit of reverb here and there. Done. That's the best way of. Why not just make another 8-bar loop? If you are so into making 8-bar loops and it's no problem for you to make an 8-bar loop, why not make the same thing twice? Package time. I have no idea what this is. After the 8-bar loop, I'm not hungry anymore. But the next time when you open up the project, you say, I just make another one. Just make it maybe the same scale, the same rhythm, just after this 8-bar loop, and you have something. You have something you can make an arrangement from. I don't have problems with you. That's nice. You can say it to my face if you have problems, okay? Yeah, arrangement is basically telling a story. I mean, this sounds like very heavy, but that's how it is, right? But if you want to boil it down to some technical stuff, it's just bringing in elements and moving elements out in certain ways and over time. So you start with just one element and then you add something to it and then something different and then do this every 4 bars, every 8 bars, and you have an arrangement. And yeah, you start small, get bigger over time, and then you have a main part, and then after the main part you slowly fade certain instruments out. Done. Arrangement done. And then when you have done this type of easy arrangements, you probably feel, or you have feelings, you get feelings about this, and you say, oh, this is actually not, there's no curve in there, no right. It doesn't sound right? And then you become familiar with arrangements and you change certain things in specific ways. But you have to start somewhere. Just make an 8-minute, 6-minute long track. Try to make it interesting. That's all you need to do. Okay. Practice, practice, practice. Exactly. Just do the thing. Do the thing what you want to do and start bad and then get better over time. It's actually really great to make a stream, to be honest. Have some people in the chat talking about this without me having to type it all the time. It's really enjoy it. I should stream more. Not on Sunday though. So you can see, this is a very bad arrangement, but it's something, right? I started here with something very simple and then add something to it because I felt like here it's getting boring, so I have to add something to it. So it's not a good arrangement, but it's something and it brings the song forward. Can't wait for the Polarity Bitwig 6 stream, yes. I can't wait. Also, I'm pretty hyped. Verboten am Sonntag. Yeah, Sunday is State Azure streaming evening. It's reserved. Just received Bitwig Connect. I love it. Yeah, it's a great device. When are you going to stream tomorrow? I don't know. When they release it, I have no time. I guess it's at least within the office hours, Berlin time. And also the stream is starting directly. When I start the stream, I'll probably start directly by explaining how Bitwig works, or what's new in Bitwig 6, I guess tomorrow. And then when this is done, I'll probably answer some questions when people have some questions, and I show them, you know, different aspects or certain things in detail. And then maybe if I have power left in me, if I have still energy left in me, then I will do some music with Bitwig 6 tomorrow. So this is the rough plan. Also, easy listening music doesn't require an epic story. Yeah, exactly. It's just you want to have something in the background that develops over time in certain ways. And it doesn't need to be an epic arrangement. That's true. What's new in Bitwig 6? Yeah, I explain this tomorrow. Office hours in Berlin times from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's a bit much. Isn't this the Bitwig 6 stream? No, that's the test stream. I need to test it. I haven't streamed in a year or something like this. I had no idea if actually my stream setup is still working. So I had to try this out. Also with the chat. Last time I used Restream.io to stream to Twitch and YouTube, but I think I only want to stream to YouTube. Twitch is not my thing, to be honest. Most followers are here on YouTube, so I just stream there. And also the VOD is archived, so you can always rewatch the stream, the VOD. Give us camera 2. Camera 2 is... Wait a minute. This camera 2. Maybe I focus this on my keyboard so you can see what I'm playing. This is not connected at the moment here. Also a lot of dust. I need to clean some dust before I go live tomorrow. That's very important. Yeah, that's camera 2. This is my OBS here. That's how it looks like. That stand looks so cool. Yeah, it's really nice. Also your new keys in orange. Very Bitwig-ish. All I need is a Bitwig mouse and a Bitwig keyboard. This would be really dope. With special keys on top, right? Opening up the grid, opening up Polarity website or something, I don't know. What stand is that for the rotor control? I think you can buy it on the Bitwig website, I'm not sure. But it's the special Bitwig edition. Do we also got the dust brush? I have one, yes. I have one. Somewhere. A Bitwig keyboard with velocity sensitive keys. Yeah, and pitch, micro pitch in between pitch bands. I still have this one here. So something like this from from Bitwig would be nice in orange, right? You have like a pitch bend on that, pressure and timbre or timbre. Is it timbre or timbre? Timbre. Some option keys here. I still think this is the perfect small little desk MPE keyboard, but sadly it's discontinued. But it works so well, and it's so small and so easy, and it was so cheap. I guess that's why it was discontinued, because it was so great. Sadly, sadly. Let's open up another one here. It's getting boring. Oh yeah, here's also something I tried to make with AI. I have to show you this. You have to tell me if... wait a minute, I need to switch back here. You have to tell me if this is actually cringe, because the vocals are AI based. Okay. I made a track and I thought, something is missing, so I need to add some vocals. And then I used your AI to create some vocals for it. But you have to tell me if this is cringe or not, because I'm not a native speaker. I think it's cringe. Or actually, do you guys like AI stuff? Is this something you like? I know that generative AI is not really people don't like to see, but it's not what I'm doing. I'm not creating AI. I just use it as a tool, more or less. I just still want to have creative input. Yes to AI. No. Okay. No AI. Okay. AI is the best. I'm pretty not sure. I still think a big part of people don't liking AI is that it's in the hand or in the in the hand of big corporations, right? Because it looks like they just rob all the I mean, it doesn't look like it. It is that they rob actually all the small little poor artists and then make a big buck of it. So I hope there will be some open source stuff out. Yeah, open source AI, yeah. That could be a solution for that. But still, yeah. I think a big downside of this AI stuff is that it's just in the hands of big corporations instead of the people. Anyway.
Whispers crawl behind the air tonight. Shadows dance in the flickering light. A creak from the floor, chill in the breeze. My heart's pounding like it's begging for release. The walls are alive, they twist, they sigh. Figures in the corner catch my eye. A scratch on the window sends me reeling. Is it real or my imagination stealing? Oh, creatures of the night, don't take me away. I'm trapped in this nightmare till the break of day.
Oh, my CPU is actually rocking hard. God damn it.
I'm paralyzed by my own fear. The clock ticks loud, piercing the quiet. Each sound's a siren in the riot. My bed's no haven, just a cage of dread. As horrors circle above my head. Is there even a soul to hear my...
You can hear it if you single out the vocals, you can hear basically the aliasing and it sounds a bit like an poor MP3 in a way sometimes. But if you have reverb and other tracks playing alongside, you can't hear actually anything. But yeah.
Clock ticks loud, piercing the quiet. Each sound's a siren in the riot.
But yeah, in this way, I could see myself using this actually because I can't sing. It's very expensive to get a singer, even though I would like to have a real singer sitting here in my studio. But it's just so tempting that you type in a prompt, right? Or you put like a track up and it comes up with something like this with the text you actually defined. I mean, it's really insane. So I'm trying to figure this out if this is actually something for me I want to use. But yeah, like I said, I'm also a bit torn with this. But just as an initial idea to get the Vox melody sorted, it's good. Yeah, exactly. So you send this basically to a real singer and they just, you know, sing it with more intention, with more artistry. Starving artists hate this one trick. I think I made this with Suno. I'm not sure. I tried out multiple things. There's also one service where you can sing yourself, basically, and then use, it's more like a voice changer. And the voice changing is so good, it sounds like a completely different person. But with that, you can basically sing a bit more with intention and then replace it. But yeah, there are multiple ways to do this. Ben Jordan has a cool service for getting Vox. Oh, is he singing itself? Himself? Does he do vocals or just more like a platform for exchanging producers or hooking up producers with singers? Did you check out Pinky Sky from Babbage? No, not yet. The vocals are AI. Yeah, I know he did some AI visuals on his videos on his YouTube channel, but I didn't know he used it for vocals. It's interesting. I have to take a listen to that. But yeah, it's just so tempting actually to use an AI for that because you just have it in minutes, right? You type it in or you give it a sample from your track and then it comes up with something like this. It's just so tempting. I hope really there are some open source models coming up that are really, really good with this. I don't know how the technique actually works with this. I guess it's also diffusion. So they kind of create sonograms, so pictures, and then they just convert it to audio, something like this. It's probably diffusion based. But yeah, I don't think this will go away in the future. Maybe, at least in the near future. Maybe in a longer term, in a longer sight, I could maybe see that people become bored of this type of sound, of this type of singing, of this type of music. Like I said in the beginning with the experimental music, and then they actually favor people singing themselves, right? So I sing, I can't sing, but people actually like it because it sounds different and it sounds very authentic. Any minute now. Techno is ohne Sing, is without singing, yeah. But always the same kick drum, right? And something on top, some random percussions on top. Oh, I see with the vocalist. Okay, paying. Yeah. Maybe I have to search for someone here in Berlin that has. But you know, there are so many producers out there. Everyone wants to have someone to sing on top of their crappy music, and me too. So maybe I can find someone here in Berlin. Maybe I need to bounce here something, or maybe you do some some of the things here. It's too much CPU. I don't know what's the. That's probably because of this one here. Yeah, this is strong heavy. Oh, I have also here one. Okay, this is half the CPU power. Yeah, just kick this out. Yeah, I do this without the elevate plugin. Elevate plugin is drawing a lot of CPU power. Yeah, cool. Okay, and that's that. Persian Rider. I don't know what this is. Surely we are so close you could open Bitwig 6 by mistake. No, but what I have is, watch this, when I close the window here of Bitwig 6. Watch this. Okay, I'm closing the window. 3, 2, 1. I have just Bitwig 5 as a background image of Windows. And earlier today, I did this yesterday or something, just as a joke. And earlier today, I really tried to go onto the wallpaper here and try to zoom in and zoom out or hit play. And then I thought, oh, damn it, it's just a background image, you idiot. Yeah, basically told myself there. I have this already open. Did I show this earlier? Oh, this, yeah, this is what I showed earlier, okay. It was something different. Here I tried to capture the PlayStation sound. It's just a test. There's nothing finished. I think this is purely based on the M1, Korg M1 synthesizer. I think even the drums. Just a crappy evening loop. Oh, there's a chill track here. Let me see what this is. Lockers 77, weiß ich nicht. Weiß ich nicht. Morgen irgendwann im Laufe des Tages. Office Hours. Yeah, it misses soul. Yeah, the AI stuff misses soul for sure. Sometimes you just need something. Add some polarity ambient stuff. I recorded some hardware synthesizers here, probably. Maybe. Have seen the M1 on sale, did not buy it. Yeah, sometimes you need, if you want to have the special 90s sound, you need the M1 or you need the Triton, because everyone used these synthesizers back then, and it's basically half the charm. If you actually use the version of Bitwig 6 yet, or you've just been told what it contains, I can't say it. I can't tell you. How do you store your work in progress finished projects? What happens once you've completed a track? Might be on your different. I just put it in a random folder or uploaded it to Bandcamp. I have probably the worst archive method ever. I actually care more to make a new track, make something new, instead of what I did. When it's done, it's done. I never really think about it. Recently, I listened to some older tracks and I fairly enjoyed it. But you always listen in a different way to your own tracks. You always want to change something and you know exactly, oh, I did the kick drums there way too hard, or I made, you know, certain decisions there. So I don't listen that much to my older stuff. It's just, it's gone. It's history. So my archiving methods are not good. Have you considered a radio station that plays your unfinished music? You mean like a 24-hour live stream or something like this? I don't know. It's feel a bit nervous putting stuff out. I'm not really. I don't really like. I'm not really behind it. I'm kind of an insecure artist sometimes. But yeah, it would be a great idea to actually put it out. How do you keep your track folder on the Bitwig loading page tidy? Mine's always the right mess. You mean the naming, or you mean... So my naming here is always pretty straightforward, because I use here this file name generator. I say, oh, I'm generating a drum bass tune, generate name after current date. Drum bass, and then I give it here some random name. And then I just copy this and use it as a file name. And this way I know exactly, oh, this is a drum bass tune, or this is an ambient tune, or whatever. I had some feature requests in the beginning when Bitwig Studio came out. I always wanted to have here a play button, so you can play maybe the last bounce, or Bitwig does some internal audio bounce from when you are hitting save, the save button, and then you have like a small little preview that you know exactly how it sounds. So this would be cool to have sometimes. Yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement here with the project tabs, right? Just sorting stuff, or maybe make playlists where you have like a playlist for ambient, a playlist for drum bass. Then maybe versioning, that you say, oh, this is version 1. Then a table where you can say last time you changed something, last time you created something. Maybe something like Git, where you can say, oh, here you added the EQ, here you removed something, you changed the loudness here or the volume there. So like a diff between what you did and or the last change. This could be cool. And the preview, just an audio preview. Because you have here this record thing, right? You can record the audio. Why not have it on by default and just record the last 30 seconds, and when you hit save, you just make an audio file saved with the project, and you can then just preview here an audio file, and you can hear exactly how it sounds the last time you saved it. Why not? No DAW has that. I have no idea why. Does Cubase have something like this? No. Why? Because they don't make music, they just code all day, okay? Like rolling sample, just different, yeah. So this one here, this master record thing could record, or you should change it so it records all the time a buffer of 30 seconds, 5 minutes or something like this. Could be nice to have, and then when you hit save, just save a preview with the project. Done. Jetzt alle Wünsche raushauen und morgen alles drin. Na. Wahrscheinlich nicht. What time are you on from tomorrow? I have no idea. I don't know. When they release it. It takes time. They probably want to make some last minute changes here and there. Prepare the website. I don't know. When it's on, when they release the announcement, when they make the download ready, I'm instantaneously download the beta, install it, start up the stream, and then show you everything. Then we can dance together, hype together, talk together, hype everything up, be happy or be disappointed or whatever. I use Rewind for Monkey See. Yeah, it's a good plugin. My problem was that it's iLok based. And every time I show something on my videos iLok based, I have a lot of angry comments about people hating iLok. And to be honest, I'm also not a big fan of iLok. It's not released. No. Tomorrow is the beta 1. So the released version is probably later this year. All my homies hate iLok. Yeah, true. Based. I thought it was the real release. No. They always start with the beta. So there are probably a lot of things changing over the course of the beta, over the next weeks, months. Can you keep beta and 5.3 installed at the same time? Yes, probably. Of course, that's... I think every version that you install has a new directory. Doesn't matter if it's beta or not, but beta is, of course, it's a different directory. You can keep all the versions at the same time. I've accepted iLok. Yeah, you have to for certain plugins. It's no way around it. Why do people ask for Aura? What's so special about it? That's a good question. I have no idea. I see this all the time, sometimes on Reddit or forums that people bring this up, and they are very, very passionate about Aura, right? It's like the holy grail, it feels like, almost. I guess it's for people that want to use Melodyne or something. I think Aura is actually nothing special. It's just a way of exchanging what's on your sequencer, right? You can say, oh, here it's a WAV file, and then you can right-click and you can say edit in Melodyne, and then it opens up basically Melodyne in a separate application, and then you have this WAV file in there, and when you change in Melodyne the WAV file, it also changes inside of the DAW. Something like this. So I guess people are wanting Aura for this, but I never saw anyone use Aura on a YouTube video. It's only looks like it's only on Bitwig that there are certain users really want to have it. Memory sharing between plugin and DAW, yeah. When upgrade plans expire, do people still receive bug fixes for their version? Yes. What if they encounter a DAW breaking bug? You have to report it and then it will be fixed. I think you always get fixes when it's just a minor change, so you don't get big version jumps. But bug fixes you will always get, even though your license or upgrade plan, or however it's called, is not active anymore. It's also time here for some different tabs, right? In the beginning, when they released Bitwig 1.0, and this was a big feature, having these tabs in here. In my thinking was back then that you could actually run multiple tracks at the same time. So instead of activating here the audio engine for this and just playing this and then activating this, I thought, well, you can actually play this and this at the same time, and then you can crossfade between the tabs. So this was my thinking. My stupid brain. Right, when you have a live set and you have multiple tracks, would be great, or am I wrong? You make a live set with multiple tracks and then you load all your projects, and then you fade from this track to this track, and then you crossfade to this track. I know, it's probably technically very, very hard to do. You can't scroll here also with the mouse wheel for some reason. Sounds like a PC killer. Yeah, but they have already in Bitwig here a system where when the plugin or the audio effect is not used, you don't use up CPU power. So when one track is finished, maybe you blend in over to another track. There's an intro. You don't play everything at the same time. You just have maybe a pad sound or percussions or drums or so on. And in the old track, you also have just in the outro a pad sound and some drums, and then you blend from one to the other. It should be not that much CPU intensive, maybe. But it's probably not easy to solve, or an easy problem. It works easy in my brain, of course, but it's not... At this point, I'm too used to the browser, okay? You accepted basically everything. You accepted iLog and you accepted the browser. That's good. Acceptance comes with age. Do you think they will change the browser? My friend doesn't like it, and since it got just updated lately, I don't think it will change. Yeah, it's probably staying for this, or how it is, for a longer time. You have to get used to it. You have to work with it. That's how it is. Or maybe you use something external, an external solution, an application, like Synonym, or you vibe code something for yourself. What's this actually here? Holy macaroni. I can't even zoom out. This is the biggest, the highest zoom. $90 viewers, holy shit, I just saw it. 90 viewers, great. And it's just a test stream. Should be great tomorrow. Actually can't wait. I can't wait. I want to see the reaction. That's actually my reaction content. Usually people go to YouTube and watch reaction content, so to create or react to something. I want to see people react to my reaction. What time tomorrow? I don't know. Between office hours. That's our rough guess. Oh, there's actually a melody in there? Holy. I completely forgot about this patch here. Okay, July. Juice, I can't tell you. Sorry. I know nothing. I'm brain dead. What are your PC specs? I have an AMD CPU 5950X or something, but at the moment it's in chill mode. And I have NVIDIA GPU 3070i Ti, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and lots of hard drives with lots of crap on it I never use. Oh, you have an NDA like with machine of NI. So what's gonna happen there? Just talk about it. Are they cooking something new? I can't tell, sorry. That's sad. I know nothing exactly. Let's stop this here. Polygrid. Let's open this up here. Yeah, that's okay. I don't know what's happening, but I'm completely nervous. Sample, no, random. Yeah, I have to stay cool tomorrow when we have a lot of and I have a lot of viewers. Maybe I get too nervous and I can't do anything, but I probably explain at the beginning of the stream anyway what's happening. Going over all the new features and then making music way down later in the stream. So I completely forgot how to make music. Live, at least, when people watching. It's not easy. At least for me. I'm an introvert. Constant. Counter. Yeah, let's use a counter. Multiply. So how was it? You need to use hold the value, and then you can go in here all the way, and it gives you always the same value. So 2. Let me give me a readout here. So 2 gives you 0.8, 3 gives you 5.6. 2 gives you 8. So it's always the same. But when you, let's give me a trigger thing here. When you re-trigger this LFO, you get a different value for 2. But it's always the same value for 2. It's always 0.562. 12 is 392. 2 is 0.562. So it's always the same value until you re-trigger. So I guess there's in the background some kind of noise sample that's resampled. And that's very cool for using it with generative music, because you can just reset this LFO and you get a bunch of new values. But they are always the same values. So 8, so I multiply this by 8. And then I trigger this. Let's go to 16 notes. So it's basically a sequence that's always the same. And then the range is way too high for notes. So I pull this down to 10%. So I get something like this. And this goes straight into pitch quantizer. My beloved pitch quantizer. Pitch quantizer. That's a nice track name. Pitch quantizer. Pitch quantizer. Bam. Okay, so this is nice for notes, probably. And this will be an AD. And then we just trigger this, huh? Sample note would be nice. Then if you want to have a new melody, just re-trigger this. And we could also take maybe a second one and do the same thing, but here should be a different wave sample, different noise sample, so it should give you different values. So we can use that to modulate something, let's say an octave. Yeah. Modulate up just 1 octave higher and 1 octave lower. Okay, let's try this. It's just random stuff. Okay, let's create some FX. Blend. Let's go for the all pass. Start with 400 milliseconds, 300. Go in there, maybe a chorus first, I don't know. Blop. Maybe a delay or maybe a phaser. Give me a phaser. Very slow. And then another bunch of all pass things here. This is 200, this is 100. Then at the end we use a delay, mod delay. Way up, go in there. Okay. Maybe a high pass there. Reverbs usually have high pass and low pass. For the tail, for the wet signal. When in doubt, make it all pass. Exactly. This is why we spend money on reverb plugins. I spend money on impulse responses. Sometimes it's really nice to just sample some random noise stuff as a reverb, in my opinion. I have here always this, where is it? This thing here. I can show you that. I bought this at some point. Zoom, what's the name? Zoom H3 VR. It's not super expensive, but it has like these four microphones on it. 4 microphones in different directions. So it's capturing 4-channel audio, which is looks like this. And with this, if you put this then, what you sample in there, into the convolution reverb in Bitwig, it sounds really nice sometimes. And I sample really random stuff. I have this always with me when I go out. Bam. Okay. Yeah, it's not very expensive actually. Maybe there should be a second delay. Blend. Maybe a pitch. We have now here this pitch shift. So let's try this one. Let's see how this sounds. Or maybe I use the pitch shift not here, maybe here. Okay, it's a bit boring. Maybe a saw. Maybe it was a wavetable here, huh? Oh, that's okay. Maybe use another one. Let me use this for that. Maybe we can extract from this a pad sound. I don't know. Maybe the pitch shifter. Damn, I need to eat something. Exactly now when I'm in the flow. put this there. Blend. Damn. Let's start at 500. Come on. Hey. Then we mix it. Maybe another delay here. That'll pass. Come on, wait. Let's go to 24. I could do this for hours, and I do it for hours. Go to Bürgermeister, yeah, good idea. Go to Japan, recommend eat sushi. Hey, Odo is auch here. You doing overnight stream until Bitwig 6? No overnight stream. I need my sleep. I need to be ready for tomorrow, okay? I need to be healthy. We need an output channel in the grid. Output channel? Oh yeah, you mean different audio channels. Different, yeah. Good idea. Why is the music so quiet? It's a good question. But it said that older people need less sleep. Yeah, I'm already just sleeping, I don't know, 6 hours. Sometimes 7 hours or something like this. But I think I need more. Eating at this time of the evening is not healthy. Yeah, that's true. For sure. But I eat a banana. A banana is always okay. Banana is okay, okay? If the music is too quiet, your amplifier is too weak, okay? Let's use here a random waveform. I made some waveforms in Serum. But it's missing some low end. But that's okay. What an epic sequence. Let's use the multi-note thing, yeah. And then pitch down. Seventh chord is already sounds like 90s. Oh, it's a key filter. It will be forever the diatronic transposer for me. Choose one note. Oh, the thing is off, okay. Let's make this a bit longer here. Needs to be longer. Much longer. I just recorded. Oh, damn. Ah, I'm an idiot. All it needs is a pulsating bass. Is it polymer? Bitmap, proud of you, amen. Thanks. Big up Modularity, World Profi, amen. Space Knight. Oh yeah, Space Knight was really nice in the 90s. Damn. Miss it. Or is it still on? Is there still a Space Knight? I have some kind of kick. I made some kick for someone. It was pretty subtle. Let's try out this one. Ah, it's not so subtle. Some heads, some I don't know, something like this. Too straight, huh? Let's EQ something out here. Yeah, I don't like this this here slower pad. I put a chain on there. Then I use an EQ5. Why is it not recording? Because this is... There need to be some kind of clip on there? Clip. It's kind of cool. Oh. Little bit of delay action. Let's record it. Where does the clicky noise come from? I think the kick itself. It's just I have to sample it. Have to sample it. If you want to have the same kick every time, you need to sample it. Oh shit, I missed it. Let's sample it. Kick. already enough. Actually, I want to have a trumpet on there. Holy sax? Does it sound good? Sounds more like an accordion. Let's see. Okay, small little drift there into 85 BPM, slow-mo, house, techno, whatever. I love lazy grooves. Yeah, it's basically it's a nice lazy groove. Perfect for the evening. Do we know which time the update will be released? No. We guess between office hours tomorrow. Is Bitwig 6 out in less than 2 hours? Probably not. One thing I want to add, maybe the Vangelis lead. Anyway. Oh, I have to stop this. Stop it! Nice. Okay, I think I'm closing the stream now. I want to get some sleep for tomorrow. I don't know when it's releases tomorrow, so I have no idea. I want to be, you know, fit. And also I want to eat something like a banana for tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe I'll leave this here in the outro. Do I actually have an outro? Do I have an outro? I usually made outros on every stream. I don't know. So I'm coming on tomorrow at some point of the day when it releases, and then we just have some fun with the new features. And that's all I can say. So I wish you all a great night, and thanks for tuning in for the test stream. See you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, let's roll the outro. This one here, huh? Oh yeah.